thank you for joining me. I'm Trish. For today's reading, I am going to look into Britney Spears. Now, I don't know if I'm putting this in as the true crime reading for this week or if I'm putting this in as a weird Wednesday type reading because I don't know where this reading's going to go. But what made me think of it is, for one thing, all over TikTok is the videos where you see Britney dancing, and as she lifts the hands up and comes back down, you actually see somebody else's face on there. So it's almost like it's a deep fake video, or it's a filter of some sort that is saying that it's not her, it's somebody else. So I'm going to ask the question, I'm going to ask the cards that. Also, I heard in the car yesterday, which made me think about it, was Elton John, her singing with Elton John, and it made me think about Candle in the Wind, where Elton John sings about Princess Diana. And it made me think about if you wanted to, after her conservatorship ended and you wanted to get away, because let's face it, she's been worked like a slave for many years under this conservatorship, and once that ended, well, why would you want to go back to work? So that's my feelings. It's not what we're going to get from the cards. We may get something different, but that's my feelings about it. And it makes me think, well, when you want to get away, how would you get away? And then I started thinking about Princess Diana and the connection with Elton John there, the song being the Elton John. That just made me think about her wanting to get away. So I went into this like daydream thing about her wanting to get away. Who would you go and see to get away? So that's a question. Also, she's got a new documentary out I saw on the TV today, on this morning. It was advertising for a new documentary for her. But it didn't advertise her at all, didn't show her. It just showed some psychologists and saying, trying to play out that there's something wrong with her, is what the general gist that I got from the clip that I saw this morning. So anyway, let's get into this reading on Britney Spears and we'll see where this is going to go. I have no idea where this is going to go. Okay, so first of all, I'm just asking the cards, making sure, checking in that I'm okay to read on this situation. Okay, they're going to unlock hidden truth is what they're saying. And awareness. Okay, could also mean that she's locked up. And the card of awareness being there's two views of her. There's two views. There's one here and there's one here, and they're both different. So yeah, I think we're right to read on here. And underneath here is the mask card. Here we're seeing the two faces. So there's two faces, and I think that's the TikTok videos that we're seeing where there's on Britney's account where it's two different people. So let's get into this read now. First, all I want to know is Britney okay, please. First of all, can you tell me if Britney is okay? Is Britney safe and okay? Because okay is a general term. So let's just say, is Britney safe? Okay, it's telling me that there's turmoil. Oops, I don't read that many cards. So is Britney safe, please? Okay, there's some risks involved around Britney, whether she's taking risks or there's risks involved. Okay, here I've got the turmoil close to home. So there's turmoil going on in her life close to her home. Around her at the moment. She's taking some kind of risk, or there's a risky situation going on around her. Also, this one here is seeking guidance. Either she's seeking information or people are gathering information about her. So people are trying to gather information about her safety. Now, the other thing I wanted to talk about, I saw a song called, it might have been called The Original Doll from Britney. I'll look up the title and put it up. It says repeatedly, I'm a clone, or I've been cloned, or I've been cloned, or I'm a clone, over and over again in that song. This card is what made me just think of that. It says open mind. But this card looks to me like a clone. It looks like like the head's empty, and it's like a cloned face, but maybe missing part of the soul spark, or I've got to say this card just resonates to me as clone. And I wasn't thinking of clone when I asked the question, but I did see that song last night and it made me think I'd probably like to ask on that. So that would be one of the questions. I'm not going to ask it here, but I will ask here. But what's going on, I said, is Britney okay? Maybe they're trying to clone her. Those people on TikTok could be body doubles, they could be clones, they could be body doubles. I feel like they're probably more body doubles than clones, but being the clone card came out, is she okay? So what that's telling me is that the person that we're seeing is not her. So we don't know if she's okay. She could be in a risky situation. There's a risk going on around here, or a calculating situation. It's called take a chance, but it's about calculating. I'm talking now the people around her, because we've got turmoil going on around her. So I'm saying that the people going on around her are calculating their options, or they're assessing a risk, or assessing how much of a risk Britney is to the brand. And it's like they're looking at their other options. And I think that's why they're playing around with either the body doubles or clones. They're playing around with how much they can get away with as being, this is Britney, and how much we all believe that this is Britney, so they can keep the money coming in. So that doesn't tell me if Britney's okay, though, does it? That tells me that she's involved. There's turmoil going on around her. There's a lot of risk and calculations going on around her as well. So whether she's taking the risk, or there's a risky situation that's being assessed around her, and it's like seeking guidance. Either she's seeking help on this, or the people that control her, that apparently the conservatorship has been officially dropped, but I don't feel like they're letting the reins go. I don't feel like they're letting control of her go. It's like they're trying to work out what they can get away with and what they can do without actually Britney being in the process, because like she's a risk in some way. She's a risk to the brand. It's like, and I feel like that's just because she doesn't want to do it anymore. Okay. And again, on the bottom of the card here, it says be seen socials. On the bottom of this card, be seen socials. So what they're telling me here is that what we're seeing on social media is what's going on right here is what we're seeing on social media. So the reason why they're putting these deep fake videos up, or these clones, or these body doubles, people pretending to be Britney with a filter or a deep fake video on them, is because they're trying to keep the socials active. They're trying to have her still be seen in a way that they want her portrayed. So whether they're trying to make her act crazy, or her act like she's in turmoil, or she's in a risky situation, and have us panicking about her and looking into her, or that's the element that I'm getting here around this. It's like, it's all about the public face. It's all about how we see her and how they want her portrayed, how they want us to see her. So I don't think they realise, people have put the pieces together, and I don't think they were expecting that. They just thought they could fool the people, and the people would just believe that the clone or the body double is Britney. Okay, so where is Britney then? So if that's what they're telling me, that the social media, what we're seeing on social media, I don't think it's her, and they thought that they were going to fool the people. Okay, so let me ask you then, where is Britney, please? Where is Britney? Where is Britney? Okay, definitely a distraction on TV. We're being distracted. So when I ask where is Britney, I get a distraction. So what we're seeing on our TV screens is not actually her. We're just being distracted by all these other people, like these clones or these body doubles or these TikTok videos. That's just a distraction. Okay, so she's carrying some really heavy burdens right now. When I ask where she is, she's carrying heavy burdens. Now, this card here is a card that indicates that she is not happy with her current life, and she's either trying to make changes, which we've got the transformation change card here. She's trying to make changes, or she's undergoing changes. So whether they're forced on her or she's undergoing, there's some kind of changes and transformation that's undergoing and happening for her right now. I feel like she's been through some heavy burdens. She carries a lot on her shoulders. It's like, okay, that could just be everything she has to do, like the hours she puts in, and how hard she works. But I feel like she's carrying some kind of burden. Now, I don't know if that burden is she knows something that she shouldn't know, but she's carrying some kind of burden, or whether that's her life in her mind is a burden. Her life is a burden in the way she sees it. She views it as a burden. But I do feel like there's a level of strategic here. This is my strategy card. This is about opposition, but it's about people being very strategic about how she's seen or what is done with her or what's coming up for her in the future. Somebody else, not her, somebody is planning, two people, I see two hands here, are planning what is happening for her, what's coming up for her. So even though she's out of her conservatorship, she's still not in control of her life. There's still people scheming and controlling what's going to happen for her. But I see her undergoing some kind of transformation. And down here, this is a card of when you're not happy in the life that you're in, and the journey that you go on to change and make these changes and make these transformations. So I do feel like there's definitely a transformation coming up around her, and I feel like it's like the heavy burdens. We've got a new path for her as well. There's a new path coming up for her as well. It's like she's walking a new path, going into something new, doing something new, releasing a new album maybe, something new. She's got something new coming up around her. But I feel there's a heavy hand on her still. I don't feel like it's her doing it. I still feel like it's a heavy hand on her, manipulating her in some way, still kind of directing her into these changes. So there's somebody around her that's still manipulating her, because this is a strategic card and there's still people manipulating her. So manipulating her to change, even though I feel this card makes me feel like she wants changes. There's changes coming. She's sick of the burdens. Over here is the busy mind card. So she's got so much going on and she's just sick of that lifestyle. But it also is a bit of a doll card as well. It's a bit of a... the song, the original doll, I think it's called, brings that to mind again. It's the same image, just different things inside of the head. So, and what that's kind of saying to me in a very weird way is that we're talking about the clone. So it's like, let me bring this through. There's different things inside of her head this time. Reprogram, that's the word I'm getting. Okay, so what I'm bringing through from this one is she's being reprogrammed. So she could be in like a facility. Say, I remember when she shaved her head last time, they put her into, I think it was Mount Sinai or something like that, hospital. And then she came out and she went straight back to work and she was completely different. It's like she had a breakdown, and then she came out and she was all different and released all this new music. I feel like this is what's going on here again. She's going through transformations that other people are manipulating. So last part of that reading, the batteries went flat, so I'll just recap what happened. Okay, I pulled out her cards. Asking about if she was something about the cloning and the original doll song, and what come out was that she's in a facility. She could be locked away somewhere. It said that it's happened 3 times, or this is the 3rd time it's happened. So that's either 3 times in the past, or this would be the 3rd time it's happened. And I see her looking into the mirror, looking at a different person or looking at a clone. So it's like a different version of her, perhaps, is what we saw here. And then I got the nest change where it's like all little eggs I saw here, and it's like maybe the genes or the DNA or splicing or something. It's like there's some facility where she goes through some kind of thing to reprogram her, recreate her in a way. So she's going through transformations, and they're like on a medical scientific front in a facility. And then what I got when I pulled the cards asking on that, it said there's a split mind. This is a card of schizophrenia or mental illness or split mind. So it could be her being cloned or split. Here she's in a facility. This is a jail, a hospital or a mental ward. So it's saying that she's locked up, and because it's right next to the mental health card, it's saying that she's currently locked up. And here it's being an energy boost. She's getting an energy boost, or she's getting a boost. So when I see this card, it reminds me of the song that she brought out after she had the breakdown where she shaved her head and she was locked up. She went to, I think, Mount Sinai or some hospital, and she came out and she went back to work and she was wonderful and she was healthy, and and I think that's what they did to her then. I feel like that's kind of what they're doing to her again now. So she's under some kind of transformation, perhaps a cloning or a rebooting or a reprogramming is what I got. She's in a facility, which we've got twice now. It's happened 3 times before, and here's her looking in as a different view of her. So it's not her, it's a different her, or a different her in some way. So whether it's her reprogrammed, because we had the card where there was different things in her head, so she's been programmed differently. Here I'm seeing it's a different kind of version of her that's coming out this time. So yeah, currently I think that's where she was. I was going to ask if she's off planet or been taken away, or she's, wants to get out of the industry and escape, and who would she go to? But I don't think that's the case. I think it's the exact same thing that's happened to her 2 times in the past before, and something's going on with her where they're either rebooting her, reprogramming her, recloning her, or the new her is going to come out in a way. But she's in some kind of facility at the moment where that's being done to her at the moment. By her handlers, her controllers. It's not of her own doing. They might be saying it's for her own good because of a mental breakdown, but I don't think it is. So thank you for joining me.